Alright, so welcome. So, welcome to my biggest ship showcase, because in the past I've always done one ship at a time as I've built them, but this time I've done something a little bit different. So, the ships I'm going to be showing you, basically what happened was, the character I'm playing as now, so my past ships were all done on my Freestyle Collective character. So this character is my UC character. So well, the color scheme of the ships hasn't changed because the black and gold is stunning. I really like that color scheme, and the only other color scheme I like is the white and gold color scheme. But I have plans for that one involving New Game Plus, and I'll go into those ships at a later date. But just they're gonna be awesome, right? Anyway, so for these ships, what started out was I wanted a ship I could use through the entire Vanguard, because I figured I haven't actually got around to doing the Vanguard questline yet, so I'm thinking Vanguard is going to be mostly flying. So, yeah, the idea was to build a ship that would look like something that would be in a military fleet. And so I was watching this one video. I will be posting a link to 2 videos where I got the ideas for 2 of the ships. Well, one of the ships and then all of the other ships, basically. So I started off building this one ship, and I finished building it, and then I thought to myself, what if I made this bigger? So then I made it bigger. Then I made it even bigger again. And then I made it even bigger again. So that's why I think there's 4 ships to show off. There is a 5th one at the end, which I think you'll probably see anyway, because as I'm flipping through the ships. But yeah, so the base of the main ships and the other ship were both made using other YouTubers, watching their videos on how to build them. And then I went from there on the one style. So let's get into it. So the ship I'm going to be showing off first, and yes, the names are
just every couple landings.
The same.
Sure.
I have a few other ships I have planned to build, but these are the main ones. So VNS Vanguard naval ship, Forward and the Dawn. So this is my smallest one. It's slightly different from the video where I was watching you to do it. Like the back end is a little bit different and stuff, but ultimately, yeah. So, these ships are basically inspired by Halo. So there's a lot of railguns involved in these, yeah. So I went with the Stroud. It's mostly all Stroud Eklund, except for a lot of the decorative stuff along the top. Like, that's mostly Deimos. It's all Stroud and Deimos, basically. All of it. Yeah, so let's get... I haven't seen the inside of any of these ships, so it's probably going to do a thing where the layout isn't exactly going to go as planned, but thankfully this one is extremely simple, so there shouldn't be any layout issues. And if you can see, this is already a pretty big ship, and it's the smallest of the 4. I think there's 4. Yeah, this is the smallest of the 4. I am over encumbered, so I'll be fixing that pretty quickly. This is the entrance. So something I don't think is in his video, the one I'll link, is these are extra add-ons. Originally, I think he just had the ones at the front, but I wanted something at the back for landing gear, so I put 2 Deimos landing gears at the back. So, I'm just gonna go in here. No. I don't have any crew. Wrong button, cargo hold. I'll go to my inventory. What's got me over encumbered? Is it this? There you go. Yeah, I'm not encumbered anymore. What else has me over encumbered? It's probably food stuff, because I do have quite a few bits of food stuff. Yeah, it's probably these. I have a ton of weapons, that's why as well, because I was going to start building them up. Alright, I'm not even coming anymore, that's the important bit. Alright, so let's get into the ship. So, they all sort of start off the same on the first deck, which is my usual, you know, make common sense sort of thing. It goes straight into an armory to just, you know, grab your weapons on the way out and shit like that. So, okay, so it looks like this ship's layout has gone as planned. So you have a living deck here, pretty straightforward. This ship is meant for a small crew. And you have a command deck here. This goes back again. So this one isn't meant to carry any. So in terms of the story, like, this isn't meant to carry troops to battle at all. It's all just very simple, up into the thing. Boom, you're in. I'm not going to show the firing of the weapons because, well, I'd have to go all the way up and then come all the way back down again, but it's very simple. It's got a mix of 2 guns, I think. Auto. It's like a regular railgun and an automatic version of the railgun. Oh yeah, and the missiles, so that's this shit. So again, this one was built based off watching someone else's video on how to build a Halo style ship. So I forgot about that. I want to save the biggest one for last, so I want to try and make sure you don't see that one. But that might not be possible. You might catch a glimpse of it before I actually get there and showing it off. Alright.
Anything I can help you with? Sure, how about it?
You'll know when you see it because it'll lag as I switch it. So I think the next one is this one. Nope, that's the big one. There you go, this is the next one up. So, this is the Enduring Conviction. This is a medium. So let's make this the home ship. So, it's essentially exactly the same, just slightly bigger. So I added in an extra deck, which means I can put the bigger generators on the inside. So I got a bigger grav drive, bigger reactor. I do think I have 2 of these rear stands instead of just 1, and it's got an extra deck. So again, I think the layout should pretty much be exactly the same. I don't see why it shouldn't be exactly the same. And it's not exactly the same. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, you got your living deck, and then this brings you up into the command deck. No, oh yeah, I had an engineering deck. Okay, so this brings you up into the engineering deck. And then this brings you up into the command deck. Alright. Guessing this is a... Oh, this is a storeroom. Okay. See, right. What's meant to happen was the engineering that was supposed to take you into the storeroom. Ah, yeah. And then up into the thing. This is pretty much exactly the same as the first one, but the next ones will change as they get bigger because the bridges get bigger too. So yeah. So okay, it's not exactly the way I was expecting. Like that storeroom, which is just a random ladder down for some reason. I think I was hoping that the engineering bay would lead into that storeroom, and that's just there to make it all work. So because I have the bigger reactor on this one, I can have the better guns. So I got these auto guns, which are really good, by the way. And then I got the bigger rail guns. Like these ones have 2 barrels, whereas the ones only have 1 barrel. And then I am going to record this playthrough. I'm going to be honest with you. I cheated to get the to get started, because I haven't got to New Game Plus yet. So to get all the perks I need to build this stuff, I kind of cheated a little bit at the start. Other than that, obviously there's nothing else going on. It's not God mode or anything, so I might record this playthrough as like a fresh start, and it's mostly just going down the Vanguard quest line. So yeah. Okay, so there we go. That's the small one. That's the other ship. So this was supposed to be the... I can't remember the name of it. It's one of the ships from Star Wars. It's like the very first ship in the beginning of the very first movie. Slightly different at the front. So the video I was watching on how to make it, I didn't quite like the glitch idea, so the front is a little bit different, and I think the rest of it is basically exactly the same. And it is very awesome. Because of the way I've made it, because it's only got like the 2 sets of weapons, and because I have the big ass grav drive and everything, this thing has like full shields, full engines, and full weapons all at the same time. So it is a behemoth in a fight. So that should bring me into... Right, this is the next one up, I do believe. I don't know if there's one bigger than this. Before the big one. No, there isn't. That lag, right, yeah. That's the big one. So yeah. Next size up, let's have a look at this one. And then we'll go into the bigger one. So this is where I'm getting concerned about the layouts, because this one is obviously a little bit bigger. So the decks get much wider as you get up. So this one is, like, in terms of how they're built, this one is meant to carry troops as such, for at least a much bigger crew. So again, I'm hoping the layout is going to work. Okay, so it's not... yeah, so the layout doesn't go... Okay, so you got the engineering bay. That's fine, that's understandable. Which goes back into the... See, that's just what I was hoping was going to happen. And on our last build, that leads into the storage room. Okay, then that goes all the way up to the top. Perfect. Alright. Oh, it's done it again. So you go up and then you have to go down again. I hate it when it does that. Like, just put a door here, please. Jesus Christ. I think, anyway, I hope it's not there. Nope, they're gonna make you go all the way up. Using that. Okay. That ain't got a plan at all. And then... So what was the point now? You go all the way up, just go all the way down. These all storerooms again. I think I'm gonna have to go through and fix that. Yeah, there you go. So we're doing the top deck first, I guess. Oh yeah, the bridge is up once more, I think. Did I miss the ladder up? I'm missing something here. There should be a ladder up because this is where... See what I mean? The layouts of these ships don't ever go to plan. Oh, yeah, it's okay, that's why. So that brings you to the bridge. Alright. See, yeah, that's weird. Making you go up all these ladders to just then go down these ones. I guess there's probably a world where that makes sense, but yeah. So this brings you into the living deck, which I think is the same on either side. There's not much to it. It's all just living area. I think this one's going to be slightly different to the other two. Yeah. So I think those two will have A's and this one's have B maybe. But yeah. Sleeping area on this deck, and then the deck that's under this one is a canteen. Should bring you out into the canteen, I think. If it goes to plan. Is there a door here? There's no door here. Oh, what the hell? There should have been a door. Oh crap, is there another ladder around here? No. No. If I missed something, it should be, I swear there should have been that. Unless it isn't on this one. So I could have swore I put in a mess hall. I'm gonna double check that because I could have swore I put in a mess hall on this ship. Yeah, that's this one again. Like I said, the layout didn't go to plan, but this one carries a much bigger crew and has like an actual battle deck thing. So I'm sure I put a canteen on this one. Maybe I didn't. Alright. On to the next one.
Need some work done? Sure, how about it?
I'm just gonna double check. Yeah. No, sorry, I tuned that right. That's correct. Okay. Alright. So let's go through, make sure there isn't any others. Yeah. So this brings us on to the big one now. So this one was insane to build. It uses the maximum amount of modules you can use. So it's a lot like the others, lots of weaponry, and it does have some Nova Galactic parts, which are those little bridge things that go across. Because in each of those wings is one has a lab and the engineering bay, the other one has a workshop and an engineering bay. So, yeah, let's go into the big one. If there's like a request to show how I built them, I will try and show it. Yeah, as you can see, this is a behemoth of the ship. Well, they all are really, but this one's extra behemoth-y. Yeah. Where's the entrance? Oh, right, yeah, I forgot. For this one, I put a side entrance on. Because I wanted to do something a little bit different. So this one is supposed to carry troops, or at least it's supposed to look like it carries troops. Provided the ladders go the way I'm hoping they're going to go. I don't want them doing anything weird. So, please tell me. Alright, so far so good. So you got the armory, which brings you into another armory. Yep, you're going to add a ladder up. And so the idea is, on your way out of the ship, you grab your weapons and go. And then if you're injured on your way in, there's 2 med bays here for injured soldiers. Because obviously, I've said this in my past videos, I like to think realistically. Realistically, if you're injured, you're not climbing up ladders to get to an infirmary. So, okay, so it looks like it runs up through the whole deck, and yes, so far so good. So let's do this one. This one, I think, is habitation only. Alright, so yeah, there's storerooms at the ends. So far the layout is going as planned. Yep, habitation, and then over here is another habitation. Yep. So this is a living deck. See, this layout has gone so far perfectly. Alright. Up to the next deck. Now this is the same. Oh no, this one is definitely different. I'm sure of it. Yeah, so unless it's not, I think I may have just put in more. Yeah, right. So originally this was an engineering deck, but I decided to put engineering in the wings instead. So you got 2 decks purely for habitation. As I said, this ship was designed to carry more people, like a lot more. And then the next deck is the main sort of one, is provided that the... Jesus Christ, this thing is huge. Okay, so this brings you out into the mess hall. It brings you directly into it, which is nice. It should be on this side, yeah. And oh, I think I see what it's done. So this brings you into the mess hall. Now, on the other side of this wall, there is more habs, but what I think it's doing is you go out into a wing. So yeah, you get your workshop on this side, and then you come around, and you have sort of like a break room area, and then another habitation room, which brings you back around and into the lab. And again, that goes down into an engineering room, which is the same on both sides. And then this takes you back around and back into the break area. Okay, so our layout's gone basically perfect. I couldn't ask for a better layout for that. And so that's the bridge. So this is... Oh, you've got 2 ladders leading up to a bridge. Okay, so you got command deck, which should be 2 rooms like this. Yeah, 2 rooms like that. And then computer core, and then I'm not sure what this one is. Either it's a captain's room, or it's a second computer core. Right. I might swap this one out for a captain's room. So I don't think I have one of those on this ship. And so. Okay, so this is just an empty storeroom at the top of the ship. Alright, and then this brings you into the companionway, which leads into the bridge. Alright. And I haven't flown any of these or tested them out. But the other ones I've shown off all the weapons before, they're all basic weapons I use on a lot of my ships because I really like the look of them. So... And I really like the weapons themselves, so it's more than just the looks, they are really good. But these weapons that are on this ship, I've never actually used, so I want to take this up and try it. And I'm wondering if it'll clear the building, because of how big it is. It clears the building, I think. Oh, yeah. Almost got struck by lightning, though. Oof. This ship's awesome. I think this might be the biggest ship I've ever built. I know in one of my past videos I had the other ship, which was basically the same as this, and it used up the maximum amount of modules. But this one just seems bigger. Right, so onto the weapons. So I think 1, 2, yeah. So there's only one set of pilot-controlled weapons, and that's the ones at the front, and they are, yeah. Oh boy. called Obliterate. Oh shit, that would have been close. This thing does not move very quickly, but that is fine. It's not supposed to. Alright. So I think that's it for this video. How long has it gone on for? Hold on. 25 minutes. You know what? I'm going to bring the other ships up and show them off as well, flying around. Let's do it. So again, as well, I'll be posting a link in the description, basically detailing the original source of how I learned to build this style of ship. And also, just a tip for building ships, if you ever try to build something big, make sure you build the ladders first, because that one ship with the layout was a little bit messed up. I think what happened there was I tried to build the ladders first, but as I was building, I sort of changed my mind on what I wanted, so it turned out a little bit differently. Whereas with this one, I made sure I did those ladders first, and then the layout stayed pretty much the same.
Got anything you need to... Hey, what can I do for you? Okay, no problem.
So let's go up in size. So where's my smallest ship? Let's take this one up. I haven't actually named this one yet, so it's just called the Mule 3 for now. Which is it's not a mule ship. There's no storage whatsoever on it. So yeah, let's take this one up. I'm trying to remember the name of the ship it's based off, but like I said, I'll be posting a link to the video where I look to make this one as well. That guy actually has a few ships that he makes in one video. So the layout of this ship, by the way, is incredibly simple. Like, there's barely anything to it. I've got 2 computer rooms just to make sure I have enough space for a minimum amount of 7 crew members, or 6 I think. And then a living deck there, which is nothing too special. It's just a living deck. Let's take this one up. Now I'll show you what I mean by how cool this one is. Nope, wrong button. Fuck. No. Alright. Yeah. Actually, take off. So at the moment, this ship I mostly just built because I really wanted to build it. It has nothing to do with the place. Wasn't, you know, I don't plan to use it much. It's just one I really wanted to build because I watched the video, so I figured I could do it. Alright, so yeah, you can damn near have full engines on this thing, and if you really wanted to, you could take some power away from weapons and put it into engines. So you got slow down a little. So, I don't know why this didn't make any sense to me, but the big ones, so the little ones that you can see on the front, for some reason it would only let me have 3 of those before it was using up too much power, but the big ones, which do more damage and fire more, it could let me have 4 of. Makes no sense whatsoever, but that's how it's happened. So, the 3 at the front, nope, that's the ones on the side, and the 3 at the front. So that's that, and then if you wanna because it's got those 3 big ass engines, it is fast. Yeah, if you want to try and build this for yourself, just watch the video where he shows how to build it, and then when you get to the part of adding guns in, just add in 2 sets of weapons and a decent sized shield, and you will get essentially this, which in combat would be a behemoth of a ship. Alright. Yeah, let's land and bring up the next one. And I'm excited to use all of these ships. Although I think the smallest one is probably the one I'll be using the most. Not the small one, the small one of the main four. I do have plans to build 2 more ships, and when I build those 2 ships, I'll record them. And essentially, while these ones are meant to be warships, with the big one meant to be like a capital ship, which does carry troops, the other 2, one's gonna be like a big, just massive troop carrier, basically. And the other one I want to build is, I don't know, it's gonna be a warship, but it's gonna look different to the other ones. This thing lags every time I go onto it, right? So that's... Yeah, this is the smallest one, so let's take this one. And I'm gonna go through the ships again. I'm just gonna go straight to the pilot scene. I'm excited to see how these do in combat, because obviously I haven't tested them in combat yet. So I am excited to see how well they do. Especially this one, because obviously this was the original one. And this one has missiles, and I think only one other one has missiles, and the rest is like main weaponry. So let's take power away from engines. Got the missiles. I think they are all pilot-controlled weapons. Yeah, so that's the missiles. There's 3 missile launchers on this. You've got the 2 on the very top and then 1 on the end. There's auto railguns and there's slow firing ones. Combine them together to, really create some devastating firepower. Now obviously these are all pilot controlled, so I think in my Rocinante video, or the revamped version of my Rocinante, I explained how with the turrets, which are fantastic weapons, like if you're surrounded on all sides, the turrets are epic because they will fight the enemy ships. So like if you have 3 pilot controlled weapons on the front of your ship, you can focus all your fire on one ship. And by the time you've killed that guy and moved on to the next guy, your turrets should have weakened them enough it won't take as long for you to kill them. And then you just go from one to another while your turrets do their thing. But this one doesn't, but there is one downside to the turrets, and so far it's the only downside I've found. And that is, if you're trying to capture someone alive, or if you're trying to capture, so you're out flying about and you're fighting some Varoon guys, and you see a really cool ship that you want, turrets will stop you from getting that ship, because even if you destroy the engines, the turrets will still keep firing at it, so they will destroy it. So the advantage to having this version of my 4 ships is, because it's all pilot-controlled weaponry, obviously if I want to try and capture a ship, I can. Yeah, this is also, I think, probably the fastest of the 4, because it's a much smaller one. Yeah. Alright, now let's land, and I'll go to the next one. Obviously, all the ones higher up than this all have turrets, which, like I said, has its advantages, which are mostly positives, and then you have one disadvantage. But it's only a disadvantage if you actually plan on taking people alive, which I usually don't. Because usually when I go into a fight, I have a sort of like I have an idea of what I'm going into. So, yeah. The only time I may want to take someone alive is I have the wanted trait on, and the ships that you go up against with the ecliptic guys, some of them are actually
Got anything
cool.
you need to offload?
And I would like to
Trade
try and take one
authorities
alive
always
to see what it
lie.
looks like.
What can I do for you?
Insane.
Okay, no problem.
But so far I haven't had any luck because turrets keep destroying them. So I think, is this the next one up or is it? No, it's not the next one. This one up now. So I think it goes this one, and then that one. Yeah, that one's the. So it's this one next. So as you can see, I put more sort of firepower on this one and such. It's got 4 turrets altogether. Is it 4? No. It's 5, yeah, 5. 5 turrets and then a bunch of rail guns. I did switch, yeah. So again, obviously, one size up. When I was building these ships, I was thinking like a fleet formation. So that big one, that would be like the main ship, the capital ship. That would be on its, that would be the only one in the fleet. And then you'd have, next size up, you'd have 2 of. And then you'd have like 4 of these, and like 8 of the small ones. And then you'd have like a bunch of little other ships flying about. I should have just gone straight to the pilot seat, but oh, they went this way. Oh, this was the one where the layout made sense, right? Or is it not? Yeah, I think this one is the one where the layout made sense. Yeah. So the next one where the layout doesn't really make sense, but... Alright, let's take this one up. And show off the guns on this one. Alright. So you got... I think, yeah, that's the pilot-controlled railguns in the front. Well, I can't control the other weapons because obviously they're automated, so it's just what it is. But one of the advantages to this loadout is every weapon, they can all be fully powered, so... So I think it's on to the next size up. And then, I think I've already brought the big one up. Yeah, I've already brought the big one up. So it's on to the last one. And I'll show off the firepower for the last one. And after this, the next video I'll upload is I'm going to be taking that small one with Spirit of Fire. And I'll be doing, I'll do some bounty missions with it. And then I'll probably be joining the Vanguard with it. And I'll use that as my main ship for a while. While I recruit up a crew and things like that.
Anything I can help you with? Need some work done? Okay. Nope.
That's the big one. Oh no, this one's the Spirit of Fire. Alright. What's the other one? It's I definitely made this one. I like this one. I think this one maybe, if it wasn't for the ship like crew layout thing, it probably would have been my favorite. Because obviously this one actually comes with missiles as well. So, yeah. This one, I think, of the four, this one is obviously the second most powerful due to the missiles, but I think the missiles will probably spend most of their time under, like, not powered. Only at half power. I will be trying to look into how to build other ships from Halo. For now, obviously I got these. So the ones I can't show off are the last ones, so that's underpower these because I can't show them off. No, I don't know why I only just thought of it, but it's one way you could capture ships alive is if you turn off your automated weapons. Which, you know. Okay, so there is a recharge rate on missiles. Okay. That's something cool as well. I've noticed it a few times, so when you fire, if your guns are powerful enough, it will shoot your ship backwards. Which is just awesome. I wonder if I'll do that while I'm at full power on my engines. Yeah. Alright, so that's I think that's it for this showcase. I'm gonna make a start on recording the next lot of videos now, where I'll probably do some bounty contracts in my smaller the 4 ships, and then I'll join the Vanguard and see what the Vanguard questline is all about. So yep, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.